Hey Pete, now that you've moved to will linebacker, when you watch Travis Etienne on film and what you know from last season, is he more dangerous to a defense as a pass catcher out of the backfield or as a runner between the tackles?
Yeah, the thing to mention about him is he's so versatile with ways he can attack you on defense, and he can run the ball very well. And it's shown when defenses have gotten lazy and gotten out of their gaps, and he'll expose them, and as well as he can catch the ball on a screen and go a long way. So he's very versatile, and he can beat defenses whether he's running the ball or passing the ball. They're both threats, and obviously very important working in them both.
We'll now go to Austin Ward from Letterman Row.
How much carryover is there from playing them last year, and then obviously you'd watch that film, but how much do you use that, or is it just that you've maybe had experience playing against some of the, Lawrence and Etienne, and just know their personnel maybe a little bit?
Yeah. Obviously, we're going to look at that last game for tips and keys, and but we still got that feeling in the back of our mind. We still know what's ahead of us. We got that. We've been there before. Is what we can say is different about this year. So we're going to attack it like we've been here before, and see how it plays out.
We'll go to Brendan Gulick from Buckeyes Now.
Hey, Pete, I know it's kind of come full circle here, almost exactly 1 year later to the day that you guys are playing Clemson again. But the last 12 months have obviously been unlike anything that certainly any of us have expected. How much reflection do you even consider during a time like this? And it might sound like a strange question, but are you able to have fun? Are you able to enjoy this because of this crazy roller coaster of emotions you guys have been on throughout the course of the year?
Yeah, so it's been a long journey, and as it's nearing the end, you got to appreciate what you've been through, and then now we're heading to that last stretch. Yeah, you just got to appreciate what you've been through. Having fun. When you win games, you have fun, and times like this with COVID going around, you can't really have any external things other than just heading to the facility, playing football, doing what you love. But there's not much. There's not much that anybody can do. So you got to appreciate what you have, reflect on how far you've made it. You talk about the meetings through Zoom, everything like that, to now competing in a playoff. You just got to be very thankful about that and then move ahead.
Next will be Dan Hope from 11 Warriors.
Pete, you guys have only played 2 games since you guys struggled against Indiana on defense. How confident are you that you guys are better now going into this game than you were then?
We've had a lot to practice on. We've seen our issues on film, and we've worked well with that. We've just been working great as a team defense, and the chemistry that is being built over time is really showing. I just can't wait to show the nation, show everybody that it has paid off, that we've bounced back from the issues that have come up on film.
Next will be Bill Rabinowitz from Columbus Dispatch.
Hi, Pete. You have a pretty good view of what Tommy Togiai has done this year. From your perspective, what has been his biggest area of improvement, and what has he meant to your defense?
Yeah, not just Tommy, but Haskell. Those guys in the middle, they're fighters. They're guys that have spent so much in the offseason gaining strength, speed, knowledge of the game. And one of the biggest things I think of is confidence. He's understanding his role on the defense and how big it is. And him stepping up the plate and doing what he's been doing is not – I mean, that's what you ask for a 3 tech, for 1 tech on Ohio State's defense. But he's really stepped to the plate, and it shows from his confidence on the field. He's one of the smartest guys on their defense, and it really shows, as well as being very athletic in that interior spot.
Next will be Tim May from Letterman Row.
Yeah, Pete, indulge me here. How difficult is it when you're playing against a quarterback like Trevor Lawrence to, when he does make a sort of a move, to not rush to the scene of the fire, but to stay, as the old saying goes, to stay sound, to stay in your gap responsibility, et cetera, because I would think there's an eagerness for everyone to make sure he doesn't make that big difference in the game, on Friday night. But how difficult does a guy like that make it? And because obviously he can make a cut and go the distance, as you guys found out last year.
Yeah, so from last year, we've obviously learned that big plays, giving up big plays were the key. Some of the keys where we lost that game. It is very difficult when you have a dual threat quarterback like Trevor. He's very, very good. He can scramble. He can throw the ball very well. That just makes it very, very tough, but a great challenge on this defense. We just got to, again, go out and show it. But I credit the kid. He can do a lot of things, but we just got to stay focused, disciplined as a defense, and not be overly aggressive, I guess.
Next is Dave Biddle from 24/7 Sports.
Thank you. Pete, you do so many things for this defense, and you're a 3-year starter. You've seen a little bit of everything during your career. How would you describe the evolution of your game personally? Is this kind of what you expected when you came to Ohio State?
No, I had no idea what I was going to expect. I feel like that's the same for a lot of guys that come in here. You just try to find that role, and then once you get into that role, you just kind of move on from there. I feel like evolution coming in as a special teams guy, and then working my way up to a starter, and then being one of those starters that can really lead the defense and be one of those leaders of the team that other guys on the field can count on. If they got a problem, they come to me. Just my knowledge of the game has increased, and I credit the coaches for that.
Thank you.
Next up is Nathan Baird from Cleveland.com.
Pete, you mentioned the versatility that Travis Etienne has, but that's the same way that Clemson talks about your linebacker group, kind of the versatility that all you guys have. Is this sort of the matchup that you guys have been sort of building towards since last year? Like you moving over, Barron moving over, was it to kind of set up for to face off against an athlete like Etienne?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. It wasn't my decision. It was the coach's decision, and I kind of just did what they told me to do. This might be their plan, I guess. But then we're going to see. I think our versatility matches up with their versatility. I think it's going to be a great matchup. I'm just looking forward to it.
We'll now go to Joey Kaufman from the Columbus Dispatch.
Pete, what has Ryan Day been like throughout this whole season as a leadership perspective for you guys, going back from August to the restart in September to the restart, stop, cancellation of the last month? How has he been like as a coach, kind of leading you out through a season like this?
Yeah, he's been for the players first. We talk about so many obstacles getting in our way. Adversity is what he's challenging us with. He's just a guy that is always going to be there for you. He asks the players consistently what he needs of them and what we can do for him. He's just a guy that you want to be next to. You want to be surrounded by his leadership through times like this, and to be able to make it to a playoff, credit him and his leadership.
Our final question will come from Patrick Murphy with 24/7 Sports.
Pete, to piggyback off of Nathan's question about your guys' versatility, with the way you've moved around this year, what do you expect your game to be like in comparison to what it was last year? How do you expect it to be different in terms of where you will be and what you'll be matching up with?
Yeah, without going into any scheme, we're going to have to see when the game comes how matchups look. But obviously it's going to be a little bit different considering I'm a different position. But yeah, can't go into any scheme like that. But yeah, matchups will look a little different.